Hello and welcome again to Binary News with myself, Amata. Today is still the 29th of August, and this time I have some more news for you regarding Nintendo of Europe, as they have actually ended the contracts for 190 temp workers employed at the European Localization Department, which effectively extends the layoffs which were announced in June to about 320 employees. Now, you may remember, as I did cover it myself, that they confirmed back in June that they'd be closing their European headquarters in Großenstein and relocate to Frankfurt, and it will be terminating about 130 permanent employees by the end of this month as part of this process. Now, in a recent statement provided to Kotaku, this restructuring also means the end of 190 temporary localization jobs, which I mentioned at the start of the video. And they said, quote, "As a separate measure, Nintendo of Europe is reorganizing its European localization department, where it currently uses a number of temporary agency workers in translation and testing activities in order to increase flexibility and cost efficiency in the long term. It is intended that there will be an increase in outsourcing future translation and test activities to third-party companies on an as-needed basis, and very sadly this has meant having ended the contracts of 190 temporary agency workers who were formally notified of this decision in June 2014. Now, despite the fact that they're temporary workers, these employees worked exclusively for Nintendo, and many of them have actually done so for years. So it's not just a case of a temp worker has only been there for 3 months being let go. That's kind of the nature of some temp work, not all of it, but a case of people who have worked there for a long time and probably become part of the Nintendo of Europe family, but unfortunately have had to be let go. So obviously, from the sound of what they're saying, all of this stuff that the temp workers were focused on, or at least most of it, is going to be outsourced to basically save money, and unfortunately a lot of people have fallen by the wayside. Now, I know you're thinking, say, oh, they're temporary workers, it's to be expected, and yeah, it kind of is, but after working for a company for so many years, it's still a massive blow whether you're a temporary worker or not, and it still leaves a lot of people out of work regardless of their contract status. So my heart definitely goes out to them, and hopefully they won't have too much trouble finding a new place to be, and I'm sure they're going to miss working for Nintendo, because after you work for a company for years, you're going to, aren't you, really? Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.